Yesterday, on September the 9th, 2025, Apple announced the introduction of their AirPod Pro 3s that are available as soon as next week. With the announcement, they shared 5 big evolutions in these new AirPods that have been long anticipated since the launch of the AirPod Pro 2s in 2022. The first big innovation was the world's best active noise cancellation. Essentially, if we take the active noise cancellation, which was the best on the market in 2022, it is double the power of that. And if you've ever used AirPod Pro 2s, it's pretty impressive. So it's anticipated to be pretty damn good. Second one is new in-ear design. One of the complaints often of AirPod Pros is they're not particularly comfortable. And what they've done is they've utilized over 10,000 ear scans and 100,000 hours worth of research. And with the AirPod Pro 3s, they're aiming for significantly more comfort with new ear tips at 5 different sizes being available for long-term use, long-term comfort. The third is they're workout ready, which means that they have workout built in. They now monitor your heart rate. They've got a bunch of features as Apple lean further into health-related features. Number 4 is the live translation. This is the big one using Apple Intelligence, where essentially you can hold a conversation with somebody and you will have a live translation from their language to yours in your ear, which is pretty crazy. And the big one for our industry at the very least is improved hearing health experience with extended battery life. Now, Apple announced 5 big upgrades, 5 big evolutions, 5 big features alongside the AirPod Pros, and hearing health is one of those 5. And with this, they said they're continuing their dedication to hearing health, and as part of it, there's improved active noise cancellation, better speech in noise, or how they've raised it, more powerful amplification in background noise with background noise reduction. And then the big one on this, which was always the challenge with the AirPod Pro 2s, is these do not have the battery life to be a solution longer than several hours. Well, that is being increased by 67% using the transparency mode, which is essentially the hearing health mode, over the previous generation, with 10 hours use on the transparency mode within a single charge. So it's fair to say they're getting significantly better if they were not already pretty good from a hearing or an earphone perspective. From a hearing health perspective, it's looking pretty damn interesting. So what does this mean? What impact is this going to have? So what for our industry? And it's interesting to look back, right? Because when Apple first introduced these hearing health features as part of their iOS 18.2 update, I believe it was, and they launched this commercial. And this commercial got played across lots of mainstream television channels and got put on YouTube, and it had 51 million views within just a few weeks. And the impact that had was pretty substantial. So if you look at Google Trends, if you look at the term hearing aid searched in the US over a 2004 to present, over a 21-year period, this is the trend that we see. And it's pretty flat, right? We see a big decline here, which happened in 2020. No surprise on the reason of that, right? In Q2 of 2020, how many people were researching hearing aids? Probably less than usual for obvious reasons. We've seen this double spike occur. The first one being when OTCs was signed and agreed, and they're going to roll these out, and the Wall Street Journal runs headlines like the affordable hearing aids are finally here. And then the second one was then the first wave of the products from Sony, from Jabra, from Bose, etc. But then this big monumental spike, the biggest amount of traffic that our industry has seen for the term hearing aid, happened all because Apple mentioned the hearing health features that are available in their AirPods and made a big song and dance about it. And it went on to make a pretty big impact. So if we look at MVP's data across their 1,000+ practices, and we look at new patient units, new patient appointments, there's 2 trends that stand out here. If we go back to November 2022, we've seen the new patient appointments kind of fell through the floor. Now, what happened in November 2022? Well, that's when OTC was announced. What we've seen was hesitation. People that were ready to move forward now hold back. The usual demand, people are seeing affordable hearing aids are finally here as a Wall Street Journal headline, and all of a sudden there's a natural delay in making a decision. People want to assess, understand, take some time, take a step back. What we've seen then was pretty significant growth over the course of the year when people realized they need something more significant than OTC to solve a challenge, and it resulted in people stepping into prescription hearing technology. We've seen the same in November 2024, which was timed with the AirPod Pro 2's hearing health features being rolled out as part of that iOS 18 update. And we're seeing a significant delay once again, people stepping back, people delaying, people utilizing AirPods as a solution. So it always creates disruption, as it would when the biggest tech brand in the world starts telling people they can solve a challenge that they believe will cost several $1,000s for $250. On top of that, we did see Apple start to run Google ads as well for the term hearing aid, pointing people to their hearing health related AirPod Pro 2s, which nobody can go toe-to-toe with Apple from an advertising perspective and an advertising spend perspective. So they got quite aggressive with it. So what does this mean? We look at the AirPod Pro 3s. Let's SWOT analysis this. And if we really play this through and we look at the strengths, like how's this a benefit to us as independent practices? The first one that we can't deny is public awareness growth, right? When the biggest, most influential tech company in the world starts telling people they should normalize their hearing abilities, care about their hearing abilities, and addressing it, hearing better is normal, it breaks some of the stigma that has unfortunately hung over us for many, many years, which is exactly what we need. It's almost, if you could wish for anything, the coolest, most influential tech brand in the world telling people they should care about their hearing health is pretty nice. Secondly, this is a stepping stone, right? We've seen a lot of people use AirPods first, realize their limits, and then seek proper medical grade solutions. And this is a beautiful gateway drug for more people to realize they need a full-time solution rather than a part-time solution. It really helps that differentiation is clear. Apple cannot do what you do. The biggest confusion is around technology, but the further you lean into the fact people need hearing care, not hearing aids, the better. The fourth one is this is a natural conversation starter. Apple will push advertising spend. And because of their advertising spend driving this message, what does it do? It creates heightened level of awareness, and you know that eventually leads to you. Not immediately, but in time. And then the other, we've always wanted younger patients, more people to care about their hearing health earlier. Then this is a beautiful way to do it. People in their 30s to 50s all of a sudden are exposed to hearing health features earlier, monitoring their hearing health and caring when it's not where it needs to be. What are some of the weaknesses of this? It's going to create confusion, right? We've seen this with the original AirPod Pro 2s, and when AirPod Pro 3s come out and the advertisements begin, it's going to create confusion. Patients asking, if the AirPods are as good as hearing aids, or because Apple have created them and Apple are so great, surely the technology is on the same level. So you're going to be fielding those questions where education is going to be so key. Not education on the back foot, where it's a case of, no, they're not right, we're the right ones. Education that allows the user, allows the patient, allows the individual just to understand there's differences to this game, right? There's readers and there's prescription eyeglasses. Like there's a difference here, and make it super, super clear. What it may do is put some sales cycle pressure in place. Apple do lower the barrier to entry. So your marketing, your messaging, your patient journey needs to be very, very focused on that. And of course, the big one here, which is a weakness, is going toe-to-toe with a Goliath like Apple is painful if you want to play Apple's game, which shouldn't be the way that you market your practice. If we look at opportunities here, big opportunity for you to be the leader in your community right now. How do you put a voice out about this? How do you educate about this? How do you explain exactly what this is and ensure that no one falls into the confusing trap? Be quick to this is key. Secondly, value anchoring. Apple's features will help patients to get on the path, right? It'll start the journey for them. And I think the more you can lean into messaging of, if you liked what Apple did, imagine what professional devices could do. Like take that and leverage it. And then from there, of course, opportunities are, can you use this to highlight some of the differences that you have and really lean into the market differentiation? Because if all a patient thinks you do is hearing aids and they think Apple now do hearing aids, you're in a very, very difficult situation. If they understand that you help people to achieve long-term hearing health outcomes with lasting outcomes, then that's a very, very different situation. So your messaging is so, so key. And then finally, we've got to look at the threats, right? This is going to allow people to delay. They'll make do with AirPods. They've got something in their pocket. It does the job. What's the pressure to step into something else unless the pain gets real? There is a price anchoring now. People think they can solve a challenge for $250. That's going to create pressure, create more questions, create more resistance. There will be a consumer misunderstanding. This happened with OTC. This happened with the AirPods. You've almost just got to let it come out in the wash. And there is a chance that if the AirPod Pro 3s are very, very good at achieving a better hearing outcome for $250, this probably will go away into eating into the entry-level hearing aid market. So always when these things occur, there's strengths, there's weaknesses, there's opportunities and threats. But if I had to give my recommendation to where you are right now is, please don't fall into the trap of being somewhere that just is a place to get hearing aids. Because if you fall into that trap, and that's what patients believe, then you're at the risk of this, right? Get clear on the patients that you want to serve. Get clear on the reasons they should choose you. Lean into your differences, because your differences, you help them to achieve an outcome and are a partner on the journey to help them achieve it. You're not a place to fix them with hearing aids and wishes them the very best. So this is a big, big cry, if you've not done it already, to just ensure your messaging, positioning is as sharp as possible. Because the more we are just another place to get hearing aids, the more we are at risk of the uncontrollables that are occurring in our industry. The more we are sharp on who we're for and how we do it differently, the more we have a natural point of difference where we're not easy to compare, to price shop, etc. Hopefully that's helpful. Interesting news. This is very fresh. This came out 14 hours ago as I'm recording this. But I'd love your thoughts below. What are your thoughts on AirPod Pro 3s right now? The impact it had previously, the impact you think it may have in the future. All is. So intrigued for your thoughts. But appreciate you watching, and I'll speak to you soon.